It is an overcast, rainy morning here, but I'm in New York City on the Upper West Side with comedian, actor Jason Salmon.
I prefer the term extraordinaire, if you don't mind.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
With actor, comedian extraordinaire.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rainy, but we're still podcasting in the rain. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So that's good. Also, his special, Biscuits and Gravity, which released last year, is on YouTube, so make sure to check that out. Just want to get that out of the way because I feel like I forget sometimes to plug things.
The fact that you pronounce gravity instead of gravy, I'm ecstatic.
Well, I think
right
I got the joke. I
you did. I know.
I watched the special. I thought it was great.
Thank you.
Do people say they
Gravy?
say gravy a lot?
Biscuits and gravy. That's not as bad as my first one was. Force of nurture.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like you do the puns.
Yeah, I love the puns, but what I've found out with puns is people do not read entire words anymore.
Right.
They just start. They're like, oh, I know how this ends. It's like watching TV with like an annoying friend. It's like, oh, I know how this ends. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. And quit yelling it.
Have you ever seen like where you take the first letter of a word and the last letter, and those two are the same, but then you mix up all the letters?
Yes, yeah.
And you can still like read it.
That's how people read my my album and special titles.
That's messed up.
Which stunk for the first one because everybody's like, it's his first one, and he thinks he's a force of nature. And at every radio show, I had to get over the he's a douchebag vibe.
The ego you have, man.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. How many years did it take you to come up with your first special? Like, to gather the material, to like, because I've talked to other people, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
The first hour, if you're a comic, it's going to take you 10 years.
I would say it took me 10 years. I could have done it probably at 9. But I will say after listening to it, after finishing it, I wish I had taken 11. So,
oh, really?
Well, because you're constantly improving jokes, and I've had jokes get better since the special.
Now, do you also think that after you do the jokes on the special, they're dead? Or like, do you still kind of do some of the jokes?
I don't think they're dead, but I do think that they're dormant.
Uh-huh.
I think that, we can go down here.
All right.
I think that when you do a joke on a special, you put it out there as an end point.
Uh-huh.
So for me, it's not fun to go back if I don't feel like I'm crafting it and making it different.
So if you're going to do it again, you think you need to kind of like tweak it, change it?
Oh yeah, if I do it again, and you know, when you're doing live shows, you know, you're having to use some old material sometimes.
Of course.
But if I'm doing it again, I'm doing something different. I'm tweaking it. I'm riffing on something, which is good because some of those things have created new bits for other things.
Oh right, I guess that's true.
So
because that's what scares me about putting out anything. And first of all, I'm nowhere near ready to record anything, but if I did, I would be like, oh man, I'm gonna miss that bit. Like,
yeah,
you know, it's like
you don't have to give it up. I mean, the fact is that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is we're not popular enough that everybody has seen all of our stuff.
That's true. That's very true.
I still shock people with old bits.
Yeah. Okay. Because like, you know, I go on the road with some comics and I'm like, oh, this bit's old. Like it's like, but it still works and the audience still laughs just like they've never heard it before.
That's what it is. I mean, it's like, look, it's like, you know, I don't want to have the same meal every day, but you could have chicken every day in a completely different way. You know.
That's true.
You know, you just throw a new spice in there. You throw, you add an extra vegetable. You know, whatever.
Ooh, yeah. Speaking of chicken, last night I gotta tell you, my wife and I went out to Siete, which is
7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brand new Mexican restaurant.
If they bring out a surprise entree at the end in a box, do not open it.
No.
Do not open the box.
Oh my God, that's such a good movie. That is such a good movie. But it's a vegan restaurant.
Wow.
But they have chicken enchiladas there that are like the best chicken enchiladas I've ever had in my entire life.
What is the chicken?
Look at that pretty tree there.
There we go. Yeah, in case you wanted this to be in DC, we also have cherry blossoms.
The chicken was made of like a soy protein, but look, I know you're from Texas.
Yes.
You're a carnivore.
I am.
But you wouldn't. I think you might not even know that it's like mock chicken if you didn't know in advance.
Here's the thing. I have had the good thing about being in New York and traveling around is you encounter an occasional vegan restaurant where you're like, all right, okay, you did it.
Like sometimes you go to them,
but a lot of them don't.
Yeah, like 90% of them don't.
90%.
But like a lot of them like are too like hippie. You know, like you'll walk in there's like plants on the table, there's like for your plate.
Yeah.
There's like dirt on the ground.
Right.
But some of them are like the trendy ones are real cool. All right, this is fun.
Yeah.
I like that there's scaffolding up here in case it starts to rain.
In case we get some downpour.
Yeah, I took my bikes here, by the way.
Did you?
For my apartment, and the seat on the bike when I got on it was like sopping wet. And I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna look like.
Yeah.
You know, did a thing.
The good thing about New York City is doesn't matter how weird you look, you're never the weirdest person on that block.
And that's why I love filming videos with you where we do things weird in public. If you haven't known, Jason and I. Actually, it was about like a year ago.
Yeah.
We started talking about making some sketches together because we did that. We talked at the Cellar holiday party.
That's right.
And that's happening tomorrow.
We did. That's right. That's right. I am.
All right.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna be out of town, but
that's the anniversary of when I first got COVID.
Oh, wait, you got COVID there?
At the Cellar party a couple years ago.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So not
terrible.
Last year. Not
last year.
We were talking last year.
No,
okay.
not last year, but the year before. Woo.
Oh man, I didn't know that was a super
Man, it was. A lot of people got COVID.
I didn't know.
Oh.
So my plan is not to go, and
That's
then
fair.
I won't get COVID, and then I'll put in for spots.
There you go. Yeah. Eliminate the competition. Watch out.
Exactly.
All right.
There is
Yeah.
poop on the
We
ground.
got poop on the ground.
Look like dog poop though, so I think
Yep.
we're all right. But so it was really fun, like making sketches with you, and I hope we continue to do some. But
We will.
Isn't it so funny that, like, we'll meet up, we'll plan a sketch. It'll take, hours of like rewrites and revisions and booking studios, and then we film a stupid sketch, and it with no thought, and it goes viral, and then the sketches we like plan and like cast,
I know.
hire actors, like it's so crazy what like moves the needle.
Yeah.
However, those sketches that do take a lot of time, they look amazing.
Yeah, no, what's great is that the sketches we've done that have gotten the most hits have been good for my online presence, but the sketches we've done that we've taken the most time with have been good to submit, and I've gotten some gigs off of them.
Really? Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. How can you submit these for gigs?
Well,
I haven't done this.
because people are like, they're like wanting sort of video stuff. I got a thing that I'm doing. It's sort of a news style thing that I got in part because I submitted my President's Day sketch.
Oh my God.
Because it was just this like Leslie Nielsen style, like serious but stupid character.
Yep.
And they're like, that's the character we want.
That's awesome.
So,
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, everything works somehow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes, and I keep telling myself this when I post a video that doesn't crush right away, you're just planting those seeds.
You are.
Sometimes they'll sprout and they'll grow, sometimes they won't, but you just gotta start planting the garden.
You do. You never know. You never know what's going to happen, and every once in a while, a weed's going to be the centerpiece of your garden, and it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I do want to
You never know.
some more sketches where we do like crazy things in public. I don't mind looking like.
I know you are a crazy things in public sketch guy. I am a script it, tie it to a holiday.
Tie it to a holiday.
I got a Mother's Day sketch I want to shoot.
Wait, what sketch?
Mother's Day sketch.
Oh, okay. Are we gonna do
All
it?
right. Yeah, I actually was gonna talk to Drew this week. So.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew and I just filmed Jesus on the Train, doing jokes.
All right.
Look, I was raised Catholic.
Yes.
I do not practice, but I went to Catholic school for 10 years. Yeah, 10 years. Church twice a day, every day, every week.
Ooh, I was about to say every day, like.
Church,
every week.
Church twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay.
And so, you did and so I thought like my jokes for Jesus on the Train were fairly like reverent.
Yeah.
Like respectful in the most part. But I talked to my mom yesterday and I was like, hey, did you see the new videos I posted? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, what? She's like, I don't like it.
The difficulty with your family is that they know you're going for the joke.
Uh-huh.
I think I just hit my microphone when I did that.
Oh, that's okay.
The difficulty with your family is that they know you're going for the joke.
Right.
So they view you as a guy who's poking fun at Jesus the same way you were poking fun at that dude you saw at Starbucks ordering the crazy coffee drink, you know?
Right. Exactly. And
so they view you through a specific lens. Doing religious humor, I always find that I have to express to people that I'm on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm one of you.
Yes.
I'm making fun of us.
Yes.
Not you.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I can convey that, I do all right with it.
A lot of people in the comments got so mad, so much so that TikTok sent me a message, and it was like, "Hey, it looks like you're getting a lot of bullying in these comments. Do you want us to turn on like this filter for you so you could stop getting like these negative comments?" I was like, "Yeah, turn on that filter." Although I don't really.
I got to be honest, negative comments jack up the virality.
I know. I did end up blocking a few people.
Yeah.
One guy called me like a struggling comedian, and I was like, "What?" Like, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's like
it's my full-time job. I support me and my wife.
There we go.
Like, I mean, she works too, but I still support her.
Yeah.
Emotionally.
Sometimes emotionally. Watch out. There we go.
Baby.
Yeah, don't get hit by a car.
Sometimes.
We just had to get around a school of children.
Yeah, don't.
Both fish and children travel in schools here in Manhattan.
They sure do.
Yep.
They sure do. So you started comedy in Texas, is that right?
No, I started comedy in New York City.
Well, I'm an idiot. All right, I'll see you later.
Look, all right, that's terrible. It's been nice.
Why did I think you started in Texas?
Because my entire vibe is Texas.
Yeah, that probably checks out.
Yeah, it feels like I started in Texas. It also feels like I smoke a lot of pot, and I don't do that either.
You don't?
So.
I've never seen you smoke pot.
No.
I don't even think I've seen you with a drink. Do you drink?
I do.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not a lot.
Have you ever seen me smoke pot?
I don't think I have.
There we go.
All right. Do you smoke pot?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Quite a lot.
See, you give off the same vibe.
Yeah.
You give off pot smoking vibe. I give off pot smoking vibe. You know.
So, what did you move here for then?
I moved here for a job. I had an engineering job that I got transferred to New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah. Started taking acting classes to meet women, and boom, here we are.
Wow.
Years later.
To meet women.
Yeah. Good way to meet women, by the way.
It's such a good way.
Yeah.
Did you go to school for engineering?
I did, yeah. I went to Texas A&M to major in mechanical engineering.
That's a big school, right? Texas A&M?
It is. It's a huge school, like 40-something thousand
D1
undergrads.
school?
Yeah, D1, yeah.
Did you get into like the whole like football scene out there?
Yeah, I actually wanted to walk onto the team, but when I tried to do it and I walked into some people who were like 6'4" pieces of just sheer steel, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be tackled by that guy.
Yeah, probably not.
So I thought, well, I'll just study maybe.
So you start taking these acting classes.
Yes.
Start meeting all these women.
Uh-huh.
And then how does like the comedy, like
what happened was one of the first classes I took was a commercial class, was how to do commercials, and they were just having us read commercial copy, and I just started. Everybody in the room was giggling when I was doing mine. I just sort of had a knack for it, and it just was one of those things where I was like, I might be good at this.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird that I went there to meet women. I'm like, maybe I should just do this, try to actually do this. And then I went on a whim after taking a few classes. I'm like, I'm just going to check in a local newspaper in Chatham, New Jersey, and see if there's any auditions.
Okay.
And I went and auditioned for a play. And I got it.
What play was it?
It was Complete Works of William Shakespeare Abridged.
Oh, it's so fun.
Such a fun play, 3-person play, but a big piece of meat. I mean, it is not an easy play to do, but I got the part because I screamed like a woman better than anybody at the audition.
I'm not going to ask you to.
I don't know if I'm capable of it anymore, to be honest.
Well, how long ago was this?
10
years ago?
We're talking 15 to 18 years ago, probably.
All right.
Yeah. But it was, once I did that play, I got bitten by the acting bug and never looked back. That's when it was like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but this is going to be part of it.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
So you started getting laughs, because that's the comedy, that Shakespeare
Yeah.
spoof. is a comedy.
Right.
And then, so is that kind of what made you want to get into stand-up?
Well, I did theater, and then I did, a little bit of film. I did a little bit of commercial. I did a little bit of TV stuff. Then I did some sketch comedy, and then we can go down here.
Looks fun.
Yeah, I did a little bit of sketch comedy. I did a little bit of
Did you
improv.
do, like, UCB classes?
Yeah, I went backward through comedy and landed at stand-up. Most people do stand-up, and then they learn how to be an actor.
Yes,
I did all
very
the
true.
other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, stand-up was the last thing I tried.
But it's probably the most fun, right?
It is. That's the one where I was like, oh, okay, this is the landing spot. Like whatever else happens, I'm still, you still try to get jobs as an actor. I still love acting and doing gigs like that. But man, stand-up, nothing like it.
There's nothing like it. And it's so funny because I too kind of got into it a weird way, but it was I started acting as well. Like I went to school for theater.
Okay.
And you're not wrong about the meeting girls thing there, because
Nice place.
I went to this school called Marymount, Manhattan.
Right.
At the time I went there, it's 2004. There was one guy for every 4 girls there.
Yeah. And the other thing is, when you're young, women are looking for excellence and potential. And so
I don't know if I have either of those.
well, the thing is, if you go into theater class, you do a killer monologue, boom, excellence. Killer monologue, also potential for earning money.
Right
Two
there.
birds right there.
Yeah.
And by two birds, we are not in any way using that as a euphemism for women. 'Cause
No.
that's outdated.
We're not that.
Outdated.
Despite the accent.
I know it. That's why I have to periodically clarify. Also, not at January 6th. Just so everybody knows, just want to clarify that. Get it up. See how that's a weird camera movement.
I cannot believe you.
I was about to say, that's gonna start a conspiracy theory with that camera movement.
It was like one of those, like a slide whistle.
It was.
Did you ever learn any clowning skills?
I took one clowning class.
Oh my God, I didn't even know this. Did you really?
I did, because it was a thing. I think it was offered by an improv studio, and it's when I was just trying to see what was out there.
Yeah.
And I did it, and I was like, okay, not me, but I see what this is.
You seem like you could also be a fight coordinator.
Yeah.
Like stage combat.
I love good, and that plays into physical comedy, the ability to just
sure.
take a pratfall.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say that stage combat and going to see Chaplin films, not far away from each other.
I would, this is a kind of a controversial opinion, but I think Buster Keaton outdoes Chaplin.
How about the other dude? What's his name? Harold Lloyd?
Oh yeah.
Harold Lloyd I'm a big fan of Harold Lloyd. He's the one that did the hanging on the clock.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's the wobbly
Iconic.
clock thing over
Yeah.
the roof. There's also a guy named Ben Dover. Ben?
I get the pun.
Okay, well,
Don't try to explain a pun to me.
You are the pun
Yeah,
master.
I don't know if you're familiar with his wife, Eileen.
Hey!
Hey, you're not allowed to call that a backhoe. That is a back sex worker.
Okay. Is that really called a backhoe? I didn't.
It
even
is
know.
called a
I didn't even
backhoe.
know.
Yeah.
You know everything.
You wear jackets like this, you have to know what a backhoe is.
That's true. That's true. When
Yeah.
you check out at Carhartt, they're like,
Yeah.
"What is?"
Yeah, the only way I can get along in this world is to be very savvy with that, and that way, whenever nobody's looking, I go and get my pedicures.
Oh man. Oh man. So Buster Keaton. I mean, I just thought him coming from the circus background.
Right.
Him doing all these crazy stunts.
The stunts.
Oh man.
I mean, that legitimately, the biggest stunts in all of film are full-scale action or full-scale comedy.
Oh,
Those are the two that are at the top of the list.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, and the stoic face. I mean,
Yeah.
the house falling down. And he's
Right.
standing there.
Yeah.
The grabbing cars and flying away. I mean, he is. That's
It's
crazy.
a great stunt is part comedy, part magic,
Ooh, I like that.
part just physical action,
Physical.
And so depending on, it's like the red, blue, green scale
Uh-huh.
when you're coloring something online, when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
trying to, and it's more green, more, so one of those is comedy and one of those is action and one of those is acrobat. And you're just like, which one's the greater one? And depending on which one you do, you either get a slapstick or you get a Marvel film.
I like it. I would do a slapstick film over Marvel. I saw Madam Web and it was not great.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I shouldn't see it. I shouldn't.
Plot's pretty important to every film, slapstick or no.
Now, I saw something on the internet. Are you teaching a comedy class?
I am. I'm teaching a class on clean comedy.
The students become the master. That's fun.
I am. I'm teaching a class on how to do clean comedy because it's such a functional part of what I do.
And people kind of maybe think clean comedy isn't edgy or can't be fun.
All of my comedy is edgy.
Nate Bargatze, clean comic. Ryan Regan, clean comic.
Oh yeah. Gaffigan's a clean comic.
Gaffigan, right.
Seinfeld is the quintessential clean comic. Ryan Hamilton. Yeah, there's some of the phenomenal comedy. You got to be good at comedy. Forget it. Being dirty doesn't make you better at comedy.
Right. I think a lot of people who start comedy go dirty right away.
Yeah. Well, I heard somebody gave the advice was do it clean because you can always make it dirty if you need to.
Yes.
But it's harder to make it clean if you're not. So it's a good challenge.
Yeah. So where and when is this class, and what kind of things do you teach?
It is I think it's May 14th at Westside Comedy Club.
It's a one-day event?
It's a one-day, 2-hour seminar, and it's basically I'm gonna have people bring in bits and we're gonna like transform some bits from dirty to clean. And
you can walk in with a dirty bit that you can't do at a corporate show.
Right.
You're gonna clean it up so they can make
right. Now, if the bit's subject matter is dirty, can't. But if the articulation of it is dirty, we can fix that.
Okay.
I can't necessarily. Although I do a joke about sex on mine and never on my special about being taught about sex by my dad. You know, he was.
Hey, we're doing a podcast here.
I always just wave. I always assume they're doing it because they recognize me from Biscuits and Gravity. Or from seeing me in Complete Works of William Shakespeare at Bridge.
Oh, absolutely.
Years ago. But
that's probably where they're
huge fan base driving around this. Yeah, I get a lot of honks.
Yeah, you get a lot of honks.
So I'm assuming that's what that is.
Probably.
Yeah.
They recognize you from J6. They're like, brother.
I'm like, I wasn't there, guys. Thank you though. Thank you though.
So you're going to be able to transform dirty bits into clean bits?
Yeah, yeah.
Don't you think that's where the money's at, though, too? Is clean comedy?
Well, clean just gives you access to everything.
Talk shows.
Yeah.
Night.
Well, that's not even where the money is just having your stuff where people can access it. You get on every radio station. Every Sirius station plays clean comedy.
Right.
The Raw Dog plays clean comedy.
Yeah. Now, do you think other comics might look down at clean comedy because of the label?
I think comics who understand comedy don't tend to, because that's like looking down on something because it talks about a subject that they don't like. Like as a comic, you're like, as long as it's funny.
Yeah, funny's funny.
It does not matter how you present it. And I don't think every comic needs to be clean, but for comics who want to be clean and are having trouble doing it, that's what this is for.
Sure, that makes sense. What do you think the hardest obstacle is when writing clean?
I think not using dirty as a crutch.
Right.
Because people do there's a secrecy to comedy. Like you're revealing a secret. And by doing dirty, it's almost like, hey, we're doing this thing we're not supposed to be doing. So there's an exhilaration to dirty.
Yeah.
But if you're leaning on exhilaration instead of leaning on what you actually wrote,
right,
you're essentially an emotional prop comic.
Right.
You know?
Right. Nothing wrong with prop comics.
Nothing wrong with prop comics, but you just have to acknowledge that that's what you're using. You're using that as a prop.
Right.
Prop comics are 100% acknowledging that they're using it as a prop.
Absolutely. I'm not a prop comic, I'm just saying.
No.
You're out there.
I've seen good prop comedy, don't get me wrong.
Who is your favorite?
My favorite? I don't know that I mean, the obvious ones, Carrot Top is the ones, but I remember watching him do comedy. I'm like, look, because my natural inclination was to dislike prop comedy, and I remember watching him and I'm going, whatever's happening, I'm sort of giggling.
It's not bad.
I'm sort of giggling.
People love to hate on him.
Well, the thing is, you can be silly stupid, and that's comedy. I mean, the same comedy is the same place we see The Simpsons and the same place we see America's Home Videos.
Right.
And I'll tell you right now, I've giggled at both of them regularly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just being able to be silly and make the audience laugh. That is literally what comedy is. That's nothing else is important.
Do you feel like in this class you're teaching, you're going to get, is it all levels of comedy, of comics?
I do not know.
Okay.
I mean, I think the ones that are trying to learn that are probably relatively new, but that, I mean, they could still be doing, they could still be, road comics and stuff like that. Just, it's a thing. I mean, I know a comic coming up, phenomenal comic, and I was asking him some questions about something else. And it came up, he's like, he said, I can't get on any of these shows because I don't have 5 minutes of clean comedy. I'm like, how do you not? And the guy had like hours of material.
Wow.
And I go, how do you not have 5 minutes clean?
Yeah.
And he just didn't.
Wow.
But, that's
Maybe
what it
he
is.
does a lot of stories or something where you can't like.
No, I mean,
who knows?
I mean, his subject matter is generally dirty.
Oh, okay.
And it's generally like confrontationally dirty. So it's not like his style is very much comedy Fight Club, sort of.
All right.
So it's very much in that vein.
What advice would you give to new comics just starting out?
Write, and get on stage as much as you can. Those two things,
Agreed.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting on stage all the time and you're not changing things and learning things and developing things, and if every set's not different slightly,
Yeah.
you're not doing it.
Right.
I would say Ralphie May said this once. He's like, make a game of it where you give yourself a point score and you have to score a certain number of points during the week. He said, if you change a tag, that's 1 point. If you flip a joke, that's 1 point, to a different space in your set. If you create a whole new bit, that's 5 points,
That's good. Have you done that? Like, not.
I didn't do that because when I saw that video, I was far enough. I was already doing all that stuff, so I'm like, I don't need
Is
that.
this the video of Ralphie May at the comedy store?
Yeah, it's when he gave that.
class?
Yeah, he gave a great talk about comedy, and
Yeah.
and it is, and that dude knew the business of comedy. That was where I got what I got the most of from his stuff.
Yeah. Check that out on YouTube.
It is. It's worth watching.
If you're a comic, it's absolutely something you want to check out. He came into a comedy class at the store in LA and probably just sat for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
Giving advice and.
We're trying to arrange the ghost of Ralphie May to stop by my seminar, but it's not taken right now. His people are real stingy about,
You got to do the hologram.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
See what happens.
Well, that's awesome. All right, Jason, where can people see you? Where can people find you? Let the people know.
At J Salmon Comedy. Salmon is spelled Salmon, like the fish, like salmon. J Salmon Comedy on all the Instas and Twitters and social medias, and then jason-salmon.com. That's my website. That's got all my tour dates and my
Love it.
fun vids.
We're wrapping up at a good time because I do feel like it's raining a little bit harder.
Starting to come down a little more.
Starting to come down. We did it, man. Thanks for doing this.
All right, thanks for helping me get my steps in.
We did pretty good.
We did.
I love to get 10,000 a day.
I mean, 10,000 podcast steps.
Yeah, I think we probably got like at least 2,500 of 4,000, don't you think?
We got a solid chunk in.
All right.
For sure.
Talkie Walkie.
All right.
We did it. All right, thanks, bro. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and/or watch another one. Watch another video. Could be fun. I don't know. Could be cool. You're already this far. You're